Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, in the past, I can remember talking about seeing all the deer gathering together. I mean, in fields, maybe 100 deer, and you may think that's preposterous and that I'm stretching it, but I'm not. There's cases now, this time of the year, where you can see all these deer together. Well, how do they know to get together? And I've puzzled over that. Do they smell each other? They obviously communicate because deer don't stay together in packs of that size or herds of that size. And it's the same thing, I think it's important to look at the animals and the birds and the reptile, everything around us, and realize that the reason they survive as a species is that they communicate and try to stay together for different reasons. One of the things I was watching on TV, I saw a show about New Hampshire game wardens, but it was really interesting because they rescued a crow. They had a call from somebody and said there was an eagle that was wounded or act suspicious and it was in danger. So they went to investigate, and they found that the eagle really wasn't an eagle. It was a crow, and it was hiding under a rock to be protected. So they rescued it. They took it to a rehabilitator, and months later, they were called that the crow now was healthy and they were going to release it. So why am I telling you this? Because I'm fascinated, and I think it relates to so much else about fishing. I think all organisms display some of the same characteristics because that allows them to survive. So anyway, now the critical issue at stake with crows is that crows hang out together, okay? And they have different groups. A bigger group is called a murder of crows. But here's the thing. The danger now is that any other groups or murders or whatever of other crows will not let that crow be part of their group. And so that crow now is alone, and it has to fend for itself. And so if other members of that original group can see it, and they can see a long distance, it will be okay. It will be accepted back in. But I thought that was fascinating. And then they talked about rescuing baby ducks because the mother duck got hit on the road and the baby ducks were all around. A complete different story. Because with ducks, any other mother duck, if it sees baby ducks, it will take care of them. It will allow them into the family and take care of them. A complete different thing. But again, you may think that this is crazy that I'm talking about this on our fishing report. But I honestly believe there's more. I hate to use the word intelligence. I don't know what other word to use. But I think all the animals and birds and fish around us have more intelligence than we might think. And I think they have means of communication. I don't know what that is, but it's critical. In the case of most of these species of fish, that they stay together for protection, to be able to keep going on. And because once one is alone, it's really vulnerable to being eaten by a predator. So what does this all mean? I guess what it means to me is if I watch what other creatures are doing around me, it gives me a better sense of what fish may be doing at the same time. After a violent storm, everything is huddled down, whether it's animals or fish, and you'll see that there's a period of time before they become active again. Everything that exists in this world is subject to, I guess, fear, to shock, to changes in weather affecting them and how stable they are, and diseases. We all kind of share this planet. We all have sort of a shared way of continuing to survive. And if you watch the things around you, I think you really can become a better fisherman. And even if you don't, it really makes the experience of being out there so much more wondrous and enjoyable. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.